a realization that I feel like a lot of people understand now is that, like, bro, 9 to 5 and just working in general is such a scam. Even at corporate levels, like me, right? I go to school for working with computers, IT, etc. And like some of these meetings that I go to, or like sometimes these internships, etc., you can just tell, like, it's like the same pyramid scheme. The bottom of the barrel, people working, and then the people at the top get everything. It's like the same thing, just at a higher level. And I think, like, the more you understand that if you prioritize a 9 to 5 and you prioritize a job over your own well-being and your own wellness, you're gonna fail. And the reason why is because, okay, the origin of the 9 to 5 culture anyway itself was never meant for long-term growth, right? It's not actually conducive to the human being, like the actual human being biological form, right? We're supposed to be eating fruit, we're supposed to be out hunting, using our bodies, getting the sun, right? From a biological aspect, it doesn't benefit us in no way or shape or form. And then the second thing is, like, our energy and essence of what we put our mind to, right? We don't have the time to essentially put our mind to something that matters, because most of our energy and time is going towards working a 9 to 5 for another corporation that don't give a shit about us. They don't care about us. We're literally numbers to these corporations. We're statistics, and people know it. It's not like we're living in an age where it's dark and people don't have the internet and people don't know what's going on. Like I said, and I mentioned, people are genuinely just tired now, and I think people have given up on the sole purpose of what it takes to make somebody else rich, right? And then you have this like hamster wheel type of format that begins to form in certain individuals. Like, I know some people that when I grew up with them, they're very ambitious. They were serious about, making entrepreneurship work or being creative, right? And like now, if I see them now, or even like on social media, etc., you can just tell, like, they just work my job and life is good at paying my bills. Yeah, and personally, I just don't think that's a life to live. Like, how is that enjoyable? How is that like conducive to anyone's spirit? Billions of people, and no one, like, you would think that, like, for example, right, if you found out you were scammed, or you found out you were working somewhere and they were taking money slowly, and it was like low-key a lot of after a while, wouldn't you feel like some enragement? You would feel mad. You would feel some sense of anger, right? Like, you need to do something about this. You need to stop this person. You need to confront this person. It's like, we understand that, right, on an individual level, but like as a collective, we don't do shit. And we're getting we're getting our ass taxed, dude, on another level. And I just feel like a lot of people know this now, and we don't really care anymore. But I do. I tell myself all the time, like, there's no way that I know everything I know, and like I'm just gonna just work a job the rest of my life. Like, it's just not it, dude. We're already, like I said, I'm black, bro, right? We're already looked at like inferior, you right? And I don't have a victim mentality. I don't. But I also understand that, like, I build myself a certain way to where, like, luckily I'm able to still get past things, even if I know other people might have prejudices or certain views. I don't let that stop me. You know what I'm saying? You have to be aware of it, but I don't let that stop me. You mean to tell me that I'm gonna also understand that aspect of already being the way I am and what I look, and also have to play this game on like veteran difficulty? Like, dude, like, nah. So that's just a thought itself too, like, if you're ambitious and you have a real goal to like grow spiritually, you need money. Like, don't let nobody tell you, like, oh, money don't buy happiness or anything, because it does. Like, if money, and you have to respect money, you have to know how to use money as well, because you can use money to take a trip, go somewhere, rejuvenate your mindset and actually be better. And I think, like, another thing as well is that people don't like, it's not that they don't want to. People never necessarily was taught how to, or even like given a blueprint on where to go with their money. I know a lot of people who are so tired to the point where once they get paid, it's like they're gonna buy some vices, weed or something, and that slows them down, and like they're just comfortable again. And sad that we live in a world like that. But personally, you can't give up on yourself. The moment you lose your mental and you lose the spiritual aspect of what it means to grow in life, you've lost. This is a flesh. I always mention, this is a flesh bag, right? We're a vessel. The thing that keeps us going is our spiritual essence of our side. And when I say spiritual essence, it's the energy inside you. It's the feeling of you wanted to help people. It's the feeling of you wanted to grow in life. When you look in the mirror and you realize, like, man, I need to push myself past my limit. That's the real you. That's the inside you. We talk a lot about ego and things of that nature, but like a lot of people don't actually talk about the actual aspects and essence of what makes you you. The personality, the ego, the bravado. Carry that essence and actually push it out, so you can actually grow from it. So I think the more in life you just accept what's here and you work with that, you always grow and you always elevate in life. As the universe interacts with those who is willing to work hard, but also is willing to accept the good and bad things that happen for them, not to them, but for them. It starts off with you just changing your mindset first. It starts off with you changing the way you look at life, your perspective. And the more you do that, the more you can understand that when things happen, you have a choice to look at it in a good sense or in a negative sense. One last thing, because I don't want to make this video too long. There was a time period in my life where, bro, I kept like basically crashing down everything I did. I couldn't find a job. I was down. I was broke. I was messed up, bro, mentally. And there was it was just this feeling that was always in the back of my head, like, you gonna make it out of this. Like, come on, bro, you're the master of Aikido, like. And I always listen to that voice and I always push myself, even if I was in like really discouraged at a point. I've always pushed myself, and eventually I got out of that. And now I can look back in hindsight and laugh and smile about it. But in the time period, it was actually like a devastating moment. But that's how life happens. Life happens for you. You just have to appreciate it more. But that's enough of this video, man. I want y'all to just really take care of yourself. Make sure you really like making sure that you're growing in life. It's a lot going on. So I love y'all, man. Omasaro, I'm out.